All things start somewhere, some way. Most often, the human question is, how? As if this gives an understanding of the process, and it means it can be captured by the mind. However, why is not often asked. Sometimes why appears to be used. For an example, why did this happen after that? But that is not a why, just a how in a different form. Can why exist without a sponsoring thought when it is asked from the present, or the present past, as I explained before? Thus, the question why is tied to all your past thoughts. It is not free. It is true that better channeling comes from the free space, not constrained by the past or by asking questions. Yet you are not familiar with the free question why, the stillness of waiting for an answer that might come in a different form.
This is quite a departure from the meditations in self-empowerment.
Not really. It's another extension of the same subject I spoke about before. It's all part of the same theme. I'm describing the freedom of why, access to the all, the access point being inside.
In which case, that level of why is no longer a question.
Indeed, you can begin to see that information stands by itself. It is true that the mind might jump to an instant questioning of the information. The question then is formed from an existing dialogue. But what I'm saying is dispense with all questions.
That sounds more than be open. It sounds quite radical.
Indeed it does. What if there are no answers?
Well, then there can be no questions as part of duality.
What if there are answers which can be seen, but the questions form in reverse?
Wow. Some sort of reverse world? Or all existing in the same moment of now? The questions exist, but our focus is totally on the answers, so we don't see the questions. They appear to become dispensed with.
Quite so. All is in the moment.
And?
And what? You want more information?
Yes, of course. However, I'm not living to your suggestion. I am questioning from the present. In hindsight, the questioning part directs the answers and the direction in which the moment takes.
Quite so. Accept the information just imparted as information. You don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to think. Just be. Understanding it or expanding it does not define you by the knowing of it. Knowledge, in this instance, can restrict you. It creates a position from which to question, and it is also a definition of who you are. By question, you define yourself and you restrict yourself.
I get that, but it's not practical for daily living here on planet Earth.
Indeed not. You live differently to what I am describing. I am showing differences in the way that we think.
So is this how you live and think?
In part. You see, nothing is lost. Programs, thought patterns, and ways of thinking. Of course, we can ask questions, but we don't restrict ourselves to questions being formed from the past, nor from the answers. We are able to utilise whatever of the programs or ways of thinking that we know, but we do so in spirituality. It is with openness and love that we allow the moment of now to be created. My moment of now is being with you, explaining the different ways of thinking. Of course, that involves the feeling of different ways of thinking, what it feels like to think like that.
I can see how you want to tie it all together. So, no more questions from the past, hey?
Okay, but it may not be easy for you to avoid triggering your old thought and subconscious programs, but we can try. Imagine nothing.
That's hard. I mean, it also involves the word imagine, and that is doing something.
I said it wouldn't be easy, but let's go further into your core. No thought, no things, just potential. Remember, potential is nothing until you do something with it. At this spot, there is nothing to do or not to do. No reasons why you should or shouldn't. There is no wasted time doing nothing. Time and waste are irrelevant. They have no meaning or relevance. Nothing is relative to anything else. And this is because that's the way we see it and think of it, or not think of it. It is how we relate to what is around us. Yet what I am talking of is not the outside around you, but the inside in you. In these deeper realms, you can see the power of the mind and the soul. You, without limitation, are all and nothing, limitless potential. Only from a position of non-questioning can you begin to see and sense this.
I have lots of questions, but they all seem to be answered. They're just not relevant, just this deep sense of love.
Good. Begin to see that out of nothing comes light. What comes forth from potential is that which you did not ask for. Because you could not conceive of it, you could not ask for it. It is unquestioning love. It is not some human's meaning that to be unquestioning is to be foolish. It cannot be harmed, for it does not choose that. Let that part of you come forward and explain.
I see all that you are. I understand. I do not need to question you, nor do I need to point you in any direction. For where is there to go, other than to be oneself? Go nowhere, for you are everywhere when you're inside yourself. If you allow my energy to expand within you, then you will be more able to be. Not to act, for that may be the need to act. To be, that is a more powerful place to be. It requires no human discernment. It is the place to say, show me the way, show me what has happened and what I have done. It may feel like a loss of control or decision making. It is not. It is loss of questions rooted in the past. It is seeing what just is. Then you see the questions which are connected to them. It is the ability to let go of the questions, to say, there is no need to know. If you are connected to all that is, you do not need to capture it nor understand it. It is not possible to understand everything. Everything is limitless in potential. By truly knowing this, there is no searching, because there are no answers. This place may seem like an upside-down world, the moment of now world, yet there is peace and love. They exist without description or definition. They have no restriction. Nor can peace and love be known, for they are you, and you are limitless. So in that sense, you can never know yourself. Yet the peace and the love within the self still exists. Allow me into your life.
I feel a surge of energy and a sense of peace and the vastness of all. I look towards Antemedi.
Do not ask questions. Do not look for answers, because they are attached to questions. Do not do, or feel the need to do, or not to do. Reside in being. Your higher self and I will bring to you all you need. You will achieve more through being than by doing. By being, you will not see achievement as you did before. Only love becomes relevant. You are coming closer to the way I think, my soul brother.